The Daily Survey with Rhea Rams is about to go live online. Catch the top monster hits of the day based on your votes and other TDS goodness. Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your TDS host, Rhea Rams. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Manila's hottest monster, RX93.1. Welcome back to the Daily Survey Monsters. I'm Rhea Rams, and our guests today are bringing the audiences into a world of magic, realism, myth, and a coming of age in the latest production from Nineworks Theatrical, Yemaya. This is actually adapted from Yemaya's Belly by Pulitzer Prize winner Kiara Alegria Hoodies, and translated into Filipino by LJ Castro del Doc. The play follows a young boy's journey as he searches for a place to belong while chasing dreams beyond the life that he has always known. Joining us today are Yemaya's very own Tommy Alejandrino and Ness Roque. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thank you guys so much for being here. First of all, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. Ikaw, Ness?
A bit nervous.
Please relax.
Okay.
It baffles me that you're saying you're nervous because you are on stage so often, and yet you're saying you're feeling nervous right now. So I hope you ease into this. But Tommy, I do know you have a play. You have a show later tonight.
Yes, later tonight.
So-
walk-ins are welcome.
Oh my goodness. There you go. Well, for those who are probably meeting you for the first time, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tommy. I'm 24, and I'm a TV, film, and stage actor.
Hi, I'm Ness, and I am a film and theater actor.
There you go. Now, for those who are hearing about Yemaya for the first time ever, how would you describe the story? I mean, I know I gave a little bit of a description, but you guys have actually studied this story and have been playing this show for a while. What would you tell, I guess, your friends and the monsters about this story, why they should watch it, and how does it make it different from other theater productions that audiences have seen?
Well, first of all, it's not a musical. Nineworks is known mostly for producing musicals,
Right.
and this is their first straight play ever. So it's really fun to be a part of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think what's different with this work is that it's not set in the Philippines, and yet because of the um, echoes between Latin America and the Philippines, there are resonances in the piece that we would recognize some of the situations and the characters, even though the situation is different.
Right.
So I think that really makes it quite interesting because it's kind of like watching a play that comes from somewhere else, but it's so close to us as well.
Right. That is interesting because you see how even countries or cultures that are not our own, we can relate to still.
Mhm.
Now, you did mention that this is actually Nineworks' first straight play.
Yes.
How does it feel to be a part of that? Is
It
it
feels-
pressure or is it?
Oh. Well, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, honestly, because it's their expectations, I guess. I'm sure
Right.
tied to it, especially to the people, the frequent audiences of the production. But it's more excitement in my part. I haven't been back to the stage in a while, and our director, he was my teacher in high school,
Okay.
and I'm just so excited about the genre itself and the way the past audience in our first few shows have responded to it. And I think it just urges me to invite even more people to come see it because, like we mentioned, there's a lot of universal themes to it, and it's yes, it's about a young boy with very, very big dreams, and he does everything to achieve it. And I think it's still relatable for anybody. It has a coming of age layer to it, but yeah, there's there's a little bit of pressure, but more excitement. I'm just
Right.
excited to show it to more people and for more people to watch.
And what about Eunice?
I think there was a lot of pressure at the beginning because it's such a gentle story, also a very strong story, and then because it's we're dealing with another culture as well, so we wanted to be very respectful
Right.
with all of the aspects, and we did a lot of research. And so during the beginning there was a lot of pressure, and then
Hmm.
as we were seeing the piece come together, then it turned more into excitement for me. Because yeah, I was
Hmm.
like really excited for Manila audiences to be able to see this work, which is quite rare, I think, in Manila theater.
Yes. And it does sound really exciting. I mean, the whole theme of doing whatever it takes to reach your dreams is already in itself something that anybody can relate to. But this one has a little bit of a twist to it. It's you're diving into a world of magic realism, myth, and again, it is coming of age. So how do you feel the whole theme of, reaching your dreams ties into this whole magical, mystical story or concept?
Well, I'm hearing and I'm remembering in my head right now. It did remind me of like a lot of scenes from the movie Life of Pi. I think of Moana. I think of like because
Mm,
there's a lot of water in the whole story. Like the
okay.
second act is set in the middle of the ocean, so there's you can imagine there's a boat. There's a whole you could see a boat on stage. It will be swinging, going up and down. The it just brings me to the set as well. That's what also brought in more excitement. It just shows the beauty of how theater can look cinematic in a way
Right.
with all the other elements coming in with the sound and yeah, it's just such a fun play to do and stage because again it was already written to be magical realism and it just adds to the allure and the beauty of the story and the message itself.
Right. I mean, already the production sounds amazing. Like the whole second act in the middle of the ocean,
Hmm.
and you're doing this live. It's
Live.
very different, like, from TV film productions, because that one you can kind of edit it to make it seem more magical. But I think that's the beauty of live theater.
Hmm.
You see it
Mhm.
live in action, and what you see is really like just pure production.
Yeah,
So that sounds very exciting. But we want to talk about your characters again. Why don't you tell the monsters which characters you guys are playing in Yemaya?
I play Jesus, but later on he changed his name into Mulo.
Ooh. Why?
Oh, he's just that kind of kid,
Okay, okay.
growing up and all.
And the character that I play, her name is Maya. Yeah, and
Maya actually appears in the second act.
yes,
The
Okay.
whole first act she's not there, but it makes it interesting, at least to me, that she's only introduced in the second act, but almost the whole time she's there. But she's a very pivotal character in the journey of this young boy.
Aren't you all curious monsters? Like, what is going on here? Now let's talk about your character first, Tommy. So
Okay.
you play Jesus and
Hmm.
Mulo at the same
Yes.
time throughout the play.
Mhm.
And can you tell us a little bit about the duality and what audiences can expect from his journey?
Well, he starts off like a very young boy who yearns to see what's beyond his little town, and he has a very very big dream, so big that I feel like his feet take him much quicker than his mind can.
Mhm.
He's a little reckless, he's stubborn, but he has a very very courageous heart, and I feel like that's also what makes him relatable to anybody.
Mm.
um and then eventually he goes through this very very tumultuous time in his town that kind of like brings a whole 180 change in his character. So he has to mature much earlier, but he still hasn't let go of that dream. He's a little stubborn in that way. But in the end, I guess you'll just have to find out whether or not he reaches it.
There you go. Now, what about you, Ness? You play Maya, so she becomes a very important part of Mulo's journey. So, who is Maya behind being a companion, and what do you hope audiences take away from her character?
so Maya, similar to Mulo, is also a dreamer, but in many ways she is quite practical in that she actually takes steps to reach her dreams, and so
Mhm.
she's very driven. And when she meets Mulo, she's already in the middle of reaching her dream. And so she takes Mulo with her. So what I really love about Maya is she's so strong-willed, and there's really
Mm.
movement in her energy.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think she kind of pushes the story forward once she meets Mulo. So I think that's really exciting for
They're
the
kind of,
second act.
yeah, that just reminds me they are kind of cut off from the same cloth.
Yes.
They're both very stubborn,
Uh-huh.
but she's a lot more practical than
Mm.
this dreamer boy.
Okay.
So I feel like that's also why they jive, and they were the perfect companion for each other on that boat.
Right. Oh, that sounds very interesting. Now, without giving too much away, is there like one symbol or recurring image in the play that resonated with you the most, and
Many.
why?
Well, one is Coke,
Feather also.
Spam,
Like, I bet all the monsters are reacting.
Coconut also.
Coconut, Domino.
What?
You will
Like,
see all of those
yeah.
very much, a lot in the whole play.
Okay, like that's so interesting because I feel like once you see the player, like, okay, that makes sense. But
Mhm.
like hearing it from you guys, it's just like
Like-
that's random.
Mhm.
Coke,
Yeah.
like Coke was the first. Coke,
Yep.
feather, coconut. Hello, what? What does that mean? I guess we're
love
all
it.
gonna have to watch, right? Well, in Yemaya, like you mentioned, a simple bottle of Coke becomes a symbol of success and a better life. So many Filipinos grow up associating, certain brands, places, or even everyday items with the idea that they've made it. Why do you think that objects, can hold so much meaning? And what do you think Yemaya is saying through that symbolism?
I don't know why the first thing I heard was marketing. Because honestly, I don't know. It's a whole culture. It's the labels we give, and then but mostly the energy or the titles that they really hold or we associate with those certain word or a product holds a lot of power and influence over what people think is more valuable and what is less
Right.
valuable.
Well, thinking specifically in the play, because one of the like reference places for the play is Cuba. It's not really set in Cuba, but it's a reference place. So Cuba has an embargo, so items from the U.S. Are hard to come by inside Cuba, and
Right.
so within that context, a bottle of Coke is so precious.
Right.
And so that really elevates the whole importance of this object that could be so ordinary for others, but for others, it's so rare.
Right.
And so there's also this contrast in the play. And I feel like, well, I don't know about the audiences, but I feel like for me, when we're doing the scenes, it's also quite rare to see an actual bottle of Coke in the theater and see the actors like drinking it. And so
Yes.
the Coke is really elevated to this like, whoa,
Mhm.
OMG.
It is
Coke.
definitely like larger than life, like almost something religious to
Right.
them.
Interesting. So do you guys actually drink the Coke on stage?
It's watered down Coke. It
Okay.
still does taste like Coke. It's actually not that bad, but
Okay.
it has to look. It's still the color of Coke. You
Yeah.
can tell, but it's not exactly 100% Coke. You gotta water it down because the sugar, if it spills, it's gonna attract ants and all,
Yeah.
and that's like more of a theater rule,
Yeah,
not to have like
you're
real
right.
food on stage.
I thought it was more of like for the actors because you know how like carbonated drinks can make you burp. So,
Yes, exactly.
like in
exactly.
the middle of your line, you're like.
But my gosh, my character. He's almost on stage the whole time. So in the second act, he gets to drink the Coke, and I really, really drink it because that's the only time I can drink some fluid.
Yeah,
in the
no,
middle of the
you
play.
don't. So now I understand why you're saying the Coke doesn't taste so bad. It's because at that point you're like, I
Yeah.
just need anything to
Anything.
hydrate me.
Exactly.
Now this story, it feels relevant in a country where so many people grow up, expecting that they'll eventually leave home for opportunities abroad. Do you think that
Mm,
Yemaya speaks to that uniquely Filipino culture of migration to an extent?
definitely.
Yes, I think so. And what I like about this play is that it doesn't really give answers and it doesn't really judge anyone for wanting these things.
Mm-hmm.
But it asks a lot of questions about why do we have this dream in the first place, and what does it cost for us to, pursue that dream.
Grass is always greener on the other side.
Whoa. with everything going on now, it feels
Mm-mm.
very relevant. Now, one of the things that makes Yemaya unique is its very imaginative staging. You did mention that the second act is fully in the middle of the ocean.
I'd say 3/4.
Three
Yeah,
fourths?
we started going to the
Oh
ocean,
my
but a
goodness.
lot of the part of the act two is really there.
Okay. So as performers, how does the style influence the way that you bring the story to life on stage?
I think we were very, very lucky with this production that um, everyone who was part of the artistic team are really on the top of their game, I would say. Like
I
our
agree.
set,
Yes.
the lighting, the sound, the
Mhm.
music. It's parang mahihiya ka na lang kung hindi mo pa ginalingan kasi ang galing na ng lahat ng iba.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
inspire you to be on your A game.
Right.
It's very inspiring, people we were working with and the material itself. So bringing that whole portion of the ocean and bringing it to life on stage was just as a magical experience as when we were first reading the play as a whole cast
Right.
without having seen anything yet
Right.
materialized. But we are so happy with the way the visuals came out, and I feel like that's one of the highlights that a lot of the reviewers took home with them. Besides the emotional impact, but also how visually spectacular it was. And usually I expect that a lot from musicals, being larger than life and very colorful and spectacular. But this is a straight play, but it's, I feel, just brings just as much as an impact
Right.
in
And
terms of that.
I actually wanted to ask, what was it like? Because I know when it comes to theater, right, you don't rehearse in the full production at once.
Yeah.
In fact, most of your rehearsals happen in
Mm,
a little room
mm,
where you just have to imagine all these
mm.
props and everything. So, what was it like the first time you saw the whole set? What was that feeling like? And doing the first run in that full setup.
I was trying to keep my cool the whole time. I was trying to keep it cool because I was so excited about everything. The sand, the
Stand?
the
Yes.
sand.
Yes.
There's sand. There's a pit that opens up. There's a boat that goes up and down and swings. There are all these sets that go enter the stage through pulley systems. Like no one brings it in
Right.
manually. So it's a lot of fun and it's so exciting to be part of it. It's like a little playground for a young boy, and it definitely helped.
And what about you? What was your experience like?
Yeah, it was really magical, especially because the artistic team, they really did a lot of research. And so the way that they designed the set, and then the way that they painted everything really gave a lot of texture to the
Yes.
place,
Yes.
which really changed the way that I imagined in my head.
Yeah, like Buko stand, it looks very cinematic. It looks almost
Yeah.
real. There's Buko umbrella, there's
Uh-huh.
coconuts, there's all these, chairs. Um I don't want to spoil, but it's so hard to describe it because if I do describe it, you'll almost imagine what happens.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, but basically that's what it was like.
Okay.
Really fun.
Yeah, I mean, already it sounds like such a what's the word for it? Just a very ooh, I'm losing the word, but it just sounds like such a big production. It sounds like there was a lot of you don't like yes, you need to use your imagination, but at the same time they've provided so much already for the audience as well.
Mhm.
So it sounds very, very interesting. And you did mention that the play has roots in Cuban and Caribbean cultures as well, but this has also been translated into something that feels unmistakably Filipino.
Mhm.
So how did that cultural adaptation influence your performances? Do you try to make it a little bit more Filipino for our audiences to relate to? Or you did mention, you're trying to be respectful to the cultures of Cuba. So how do you find that balance?
Right. I think I remember we all agreed that it was not deliberately set in Cuba, at least our interpretation of it. It was a fictional world in the Caribbean,
Yes.
somewhere
Okay.
there, so that we could allow a little more blurry lines for the Pinoy audience to project their knowledge of our culture
Love
onto
that.
what they're watching. And the whole play is in pure Tagalog, like
Right.
straight Tagalog. And I feel like that's also one way that, you know, adapts to that audience.
Right.
And I think it's just fun in that way because you do see that it's a story that just transcends culture and race. It's a story that lifts past all of those limitations, so to speak.
Oh, sounds so exciting, and it sounds like a show that nobody should miss. So, Yemaya is actually on its final run,
Yes, it's
right?
our last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
last 5 shows this weekend.
There you go. If someone is still on the fence about watching, what is one thing you would tell them that they won't experience anywhere else?
Ooh, there's a lot, but I
That reaction in itself, I
Alright.
think, was the
I
answer.
I don't even know. Like, I personally want to watch this, but I'm on stage doing it. I do have an alternate, but it's different. I I I don't know. I feel like it's just you're not gonna be able to watch this again. Like, sure, let's imagine what if there's a rerun, but I don't know. It's just not gonna be the same.
Right.
So I guess this weekend should be very, very special. Like, you guys have to please catch it, not just because I'm there. I'm really not just promoting it. It's a very, very special experience.
For me, I feel like, right now there's a lot of movies, a lot of TV series, a lot of stories that we could watch, but really, Yemaya is so unique. I've read so many things in my life, but
Mhm.
Yemaya really is different. And it's going to give you something you've never seen before. So, yeah, please come.
Yeah, you know what? I'm convinced. I'm convinced, and hopefully the monsters are too. But after Yemaya, what can audiences look forward to from each of you?
Well, I don't also know how much I can say about what's coming for me in my personal career. Or
Okay.
are we asking about the production of Nine Works? But personally, I guess you could see more of me on screen. I don't believe I'll be back on stage in a while after this one.
Okay. Oh, so monsters, this is your last chance to see Tommy Alejandrino on stage, live in action. And what
Oh,
about
yes.
you, Ness?
I have an upcoming film in Cinema Live. So
Oh.
please watch Mag-iina by Giancarlo Abrahan.
There
That's
you
August.
go. Oh my goodness. Sounds super exciting. Now, of course, where can our monsters find tickets for the show if they want to watch?
Tickettome.net, is that right? Yes, tickettome.net. Just go online. It's everywhere.
There you
Easy to
go.
type it down, buy the tickets. We know it's expensive, but definitely worth the amount. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
All right. So tickettome.net monsters. Last 5 shows this weekend. I know you have one of those shows tonight.
Tonight, yes.
So make sure you catch it. Tickettome.net. And of course, if they want to stay updated on the future projects of Nine Works, where can they find you guys online?
You can follow me at Tommy_Alejandrino on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yeah, and just Ness Roque on Facebook and Instagram.
There you go. Now, if there's any message that you have for all the monsters who are tuned in right now, whether it's about Yemaya or just anything, please tell them a little short message.
Yeah, just thank you so much for listening and thank you for supporting Philippine theater.
Thank you so much for listening, and I really, really hope to see you there. If not, just keep supporting more Filipino art, theater, films, everything.
There you go. Again, make sure to check it out. Yemaya is on its last run, last 5 shows this weekend. So go grab your tickets at tickettome.net and check them out online as well. That's Tommy Alejandrino and Ness Roque for updates on what's going on with them, as well as for Yemaya. Now, monsters, that was Tommy Alejandrino and Ness Roque from Yemaya. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
That sounded like I am so thrilled. I really hope I get to watch. I hope I get to catch a show this weekend. It does sound super exciting. So to all the monsters, make sure to catch Yemaya in its final 5 performances until July 5 at the Black Box Proscenium Theater in Rockwell, Makati. So thank you guys so much again for coming. And to all the monsters, again, tickettome.net. But once again, this has been the Daily Survey with Tommy Alejandrino and Ness Roque from Yemaya, only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.
The Daily Survey. Exclusive interview. Monster exclusive interview. Only from Manila's hottest. Monster RX93.1. for just a chance to win your heart. You could set the bar beyond the stars. I'll do anything, anything you ask me to. Say you want the moon, watch me learn to fly. Ain't a mountain you could point to I wouldn't climb. It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you. To hold your hand and call you mine. I'm trying to be your man till the end of time. Oh, I'll do anything, anything you ask me to. I would run through a fire just to be by your side. If your heart's on the line, you can take mine. It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you. I would swim across the sea just to show you. Sacrifice my life just to hold you. I could go on and on to prove that you belong here in my arms. Say you want the moon, watch me fly. And a mountain you could point to. I wouldn't climb, it's crazy, but it's true. It's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you. It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you.
Manila's hottest.
Tune into real human DJs curating interesting music.
Monster RX93.1. New music. Indie ground. Indie ground. New Manila's hottest radio station makes way for songs by talented independent bands and artists. If you're an unsigned artist, let the Monster give you or your band that much-deserved radio airplay. Submit your original songs now by visiting facebook.com/indiegroundph. Facebook.com/indiegroundph.
We can touch the sky. What you gotta do?
The Monster believes in the future of OPM. Indie rap only on Manila's hottest. Monster RX93.1.
Indie ground.
Fresh Filipino discovery exclusively heard on the Monster.
Indie ground.